Hi, this is Robert Henderson Jr., certified financial planner, certified tax coach. Good morning to you all, everyone. I'm a certified financial planner, and I'm also the president of the Henderson Financial Group. Joining here is my sister-in-law, business partner, colleague, Lynda V. Harris. Lynda, how you doing?
I am fantastic. Right on, right on. I'm channeling my 70s strength, Angela Davis look.
Oh, I love it.
Everything is well, Robert. I don't want to say happy 4th of July, but, somebody's independence.
Yeah, ain't ours,
It ain't
right?
ours,
We still
but
trying
okay,
to
we
fight for that,
digress.
right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Good.
Glad to be here, though. I must say, this new format, Robert,
Yes.
it's a little challenging for
Yeah,
me.
it is?
Because people can see us. I have a face for radio.
Oh, you don't have a face
So I
for-
gotta have good hair day. I gotta get the lashes right. I gotta get this is a little challenging for me.
Oh, man.
15 years of just radio.
Yes.
I could slide in 1 minute early.
Yes.
I don't have to even wash my face. And now all of a sudden, this new technology, I gotta bring. I gotta sit up
nobody's
straight.
looking
Gotta
at
lose
you,
some
Lynda.
weight. I gotta do a whole bunch of stuff.
Nobody's
This is
looking-
challenging for me,
No,
Robert.
they ain't looking at
Ah.
you. They want the content. They want the information.
I beg to differ.
Oh no, they want the content. They want the information. People are just dying. They're like, oh man, give me some information. They tired of listening to the same old thing or not really learning anything.
Right.
So we're here to inspire you.
But
to encourage
I am
you.
a woman, and that being said, we have to, there's a certain standard.
Well, information is everything.
I agree.
Yes. So
Salute.
let's just give it out.
You
Tell
got
me
it, you
overlook
got
that.
it.
I mean,
All
you're
right.
beautiful. You're black, beautiful, bold. You sure of yourself. You all that. I mean,
All
what can I
that.
say? You
Thank you,
rocking
Robert.
rocking your Angela Davis look.
Yes, right on to the people.
Well, today we're going to talk about wills and trusts because I
Mm-hmm.
think that's very, very important. And when we think about wills and trusts, you think about old people, you're about to die. No. I want you to change that because during this coronavirus pandemic time, a lot of people that have real estate, especially females or guys who are not married and they're entrepreneurs.
Yes.
If all of a sudden they get contact the virus, then there's going to be some problems with estate planning because then you have to go through probate, and we're going to talk about that. But first, what I want to do is I want to recap last week's show. We talked about the CARES Act, and for some of you all who hadn't tuned in last week, let me recap and tell you what the CARES Act is. Well, back in March of this year, March 27, 2020, there was overwhelming support, and the law was passed, and it was bipartisan for the first time. We know that the Democrats and Republicans have just been at each other like cats and dogs, but on this bill, they passed a $2 trillion bill, a stimulus act to help individuals and also help business owners to provide and be able to carry on and continue their lives during this pandemic. Yes, and it was $2 billion. And some of you all who have businesses have gotten stimulus checks. Some people have gotten $100,000, $50,000. Some people have gotten $3 million or more. In fact, Los Angeles Lakers, Ruth Chris, some of the other companies have gotten, 10, 15 million, but they have turned the money back in out of shame. And I don't blame them. But a lot of business owners have gotten it, but some business owners have not. A lot of you have received your stimulus package, which is each individual, it was $1,200.
Right.
And if you're married, it was $2,400. And if you had kids, it's $500. Okay? But that's the Stimulus Act, and most of us know about this. Most of us don't know that you can help yourself. Inside of this CARES Act, there is a part of it that says if you have a qualified plan, if you have an IRA, a 401k, a 403b, or a TSP, you can take up to $100,000 out of your retirement plan to help yourself and your family. That is big, and a lot of people don't know that. Employers are not telling you that, but you can, and that is the law. Okay, you can take up to $100,000 out. The thing is that what's really sets this apart is that if you're under 59 and a half, there's no early withdrawal penalty. Now that's big,
huge.
Lynda.
That's huge.
You can take up to $100,000. You don't have to tell them why, but you can withdraw up to $100,000 with no early withdrawal penalty. However, you will have to pay the taxes. But the good thing is you won't need to pay the taxes all in one lump sum.
Right.
They let you actually spread the taxes over 3 years.
3 years.
That's huge too, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Now, who qualifies? So some people saying, well, do I qualify? Do I qualify? Well, if you have been affected, in other words, if you have been diagnosed as having coronavirus, or your significant other, your wife or your partner, then you qualify, or your children. Or on top of that, if you didn't get infected by the virus, you still may qualify. How? If you have been affected any way, form, or fashion. In other words, if you've been laid off, furloughed, your hours have been cut back, you still qualify. And I don't know, Lynda, who don't qualify, because a lot of us had to be quarantined.
Yes, we did. A lot of us, some of us were blessed enough to still get a full paycheck. But Robert, we saw those unemployment numbers in the millions.
Over 45 million.
Yeah. So a lot of us do qualify. That's a fact. Again, like we recapped last week, just make sure you do the right thing with it. But it's a great opportunity, a fantastic opportunity.
And what you want to do, if you don't know how to do that, you can call our office. Let me give out a telephone number.
305-825-1444. We've been here over 30 years. Robert is a certified financial planner. Everybody in this office are licensed securities advisors. And again, we always said, I think for the last 30 years, this is not a moment, it's a movement.
Yes.
And so, opportunities come sometimes once in a lifetime, and this is an excellent one now.
So if you don't know how to make this happen, if you don't know how to get your money from your retirement plan, all you have to do is call our office, like Lynda said, 305-825-1444. We'll help you out. We'll help you navigate through the process also, okay? Now, so I think most people, I think I explained who qualifies.
Yes, you did.
How much you get.
Yes, you did.
Now, there's some strategy that you can use if you do choose to withdraw this money. And I want you to let your imagination run with you in terms of there's some good things. The smart money is taking that money out and they're investing it, okay? Because right now is a fantastic time to invest. A lot of times when things are going amok, and it's like, it seems like all hell is breaking loose. I'm telling you, a lot of inventions take place. People get really creative.
Right.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of things that you can do, whether it's putting that money in a better place where you can control. Because let's face it, when you have your money in a qualified plan, you really have no control. And for some of you all who are under 59 and a half, man, you have to leave your money in there for 20, 30 years, and you have no control. It's not protected. So this is a chance to get the money out.
Right.
Call a certified financial planning firm like ours,
Right.
and we'll show you how you can better this money. Other things you can do if you want to buy real estate, investment properties. If you want to buy, I would say insurance. There's a lot of insurance strategies. Like I said, it's not like your mother's insurance. It's a lot of insurance strategies. Matter of fact, we like insurance more than we like anything, don't we?
We do.
Well, maybe not anything, but it's right up there with real estate.
Yeah. And I tell you, just because you don't know about it does not mean it doesn't exist. So things are changing every day. Just like who knew we'd have a global pandemic. And so you got to stay up on it. I know sometimes it can get daunting, things changing so much, and all you want to do is just go to work, eat, and go to sleep. But you got to stay on your game. You got to stay up on it. Information is knowledge, but applied knowledge is powerful.
Yes. And I know that, most of us are just getting bombarded with so much information during this information age that we're in.
Things are changing every day, it seems.
Netflix seems like they're coming out with a movie every day. Hulu, Amazon, Apple TV. I mean, it's just a lot of things that are grabbing for your attention, so to speak. So you really, really got to be focused. And you can't drift.
You do. You can.
You can't.
I know it's hard, but you got to just stay up on it.
Yes. Okay, so let's talk about today's topic.
One of my favorites.
Yes? Wills and trusts. Now, I know when you say wills and trusts, you think about dying. But, during this pandemic, a lot of death has occurred, and people around us are dying all of a sudden.
Over 100,000.
Yes?
Over 120,000.
And in Florida here, man, I tell you, it's really, 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 really big. We don't know how this thing is going to end. Hopefully this too shall pass. We want you all to be safe and healthy and practice social distancing. I know some of you all say, hey, you're not going to do that because the government is trying to take your rights and tell you what to do. And it's a lot of conspiracy theories that are going on out there. Right along from shapeshifters to aliens to this the new world order. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of that. I mean, I get that all the time, Linda, on my cell phone. People contacting me, emailing me, telling me about the plot. But think about it like this: are you in a position to do anything, or is it just gossip? I mean, can you really do anything? All you can do is take care of me, myself, and I.
All
You
you
have to
can do is
focus
what
on
you
yourself.
can do.
That's it, right?
That's it, yeah.
Starting the rumor and circulating the rumor about they're doing this and they're doing that, and you know, how is it helping you? Is it, you know, you only have 24 hours in a day. How are you spending your time? Is it helping you? What do you focus on? You know.
Right.
So let's talk about wills and trusts.
Okay.
First of all, I want to break down to you all what a will is, and most of you all have heard a will, right?
All right,
All
and then
our
we'll do a little role play.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so most of us have heard about wills because all our life, a will. If somebody
Big
died,
Mama will.
this
Find
have
the
a will.
Right.
A will.
Right.
And we've always associated trust with somebody who has a lot of money, correct?
Right, Mr. Howell, Mr. Thurgood, and just rich folks.
Rich people that
Right.
have trust.
Absolutely.
Poor people, people just, living, middle class don't have trust. No, it's not just because you have to have a lot of money you need to trust. If you own one piece of property, okay, especially if you're not married, you want to probably have a living trust. And we're going to talk about that why, okay?
You
And
got it.
especially if you are an entrepreneur and you have businesses, or if you have several rental properties, you definitely want to not only have an LLC, but you also want to also have a living trust, and especially if you're single and not married. Because if you don't, by the time you leave this world and go to heaven,
Right.
man, I tell you, the courts will have a field day with you, the attorneys will have a field day with you, and you'll be really mad that you.
And families
Didn't.
may get torn apart.
Oftentimes that does happen.
Oftentimes that does happen, and we don't want that to happen. They say if you want to bring out the ugly, either a marriage or a funeral.
Oh,
And people just really tell you how they really feel. So,
the marriage brings out the ugly too?
well, yeah.
Yeah?
I never did like him. Why she marrying him? I never. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I've been married to your sister for 33 years. I don't know. Would y'all say that about me? I don't know. It's been 33.
No, you were like a little brother to us. That's
Yeah.
Junebug. That's
Oh,
just
man. Yeah. But anyway, let's talk about the will. So let's go. A will is basically it's a document that you list all of your things and your stuff, your assets.
a will.
A will.
Okay,
Okay?
got it.
And a will is used just to it's not really used to pass on property. It's actually a document with instructions on how you want your assets, your property distributed
The
once you're
string
gone.
of pearls.
Right.
The diamond ring.
Right.
You write it down.
And say
And
who
gets what?
that's right.
Okay.
From your personal property to your assets.
Okay.
Your checking account or your
That
stocks,
card,
your
the VIN,
bond.
the paid for card. You
That's
write
right.
The VIN number down.
And you want to at least have some coordination, because some people die without a will or even a trust, and we call that intestate.
Okay.
And when Big Mama dies, or Sally or Susie die, you have to go to the house. You have to search over all of their goods. You don't know if they have a safety deposit box.
Man, right.
And then if they have money inside of a bank and their name was on it, only themselves, it's going to take an act of Congress to get the bank to release the money to you. The bank will say, listen, we can't do that. You have to get a court order, and you have to go to court, and you have to have an attorney. And you might say, that's my mama, or that's my father, or that's my sister.
You remember me bringing her in this branch?
And they say yes.
Once a month when her Social Security check came.
Right.
And they said, I remember you, Lynda, but you can't touch this account.
Right.
Right.
And then you come up with the will. You show them, here, list this the will.
Right.
This says that I am the beneficiary of this account.
Still can't.
They still can't. Even if you show them the will, a piece of paper that the attorney drawn up,
Okay.
you still can't get it. Because see, wills, in a sense, it's just a plan.
Okay.
It's just a written document that expresses your wishes, what you would like to happen. But you don't have the final say with the will. You know who have the final say with the will? A judge.
So let's
Yes.
get this right. You took Big Mama to an attorney. They drew up a will.
Yes.
The attorney helped prepare it.
Yes.
She was there and witnessed Big Mama giving me the pearls,
Charge you
access
money.
to the bank account,
Charge you a fee.
charge me a fee.
Right.
Big Mama dies.
Right.
I take that will to the bank, still can't touch the money.
No, not at all.
Okay.
You can take that bank to the mortgage company. You can take that document
Right.
to the mortgage company. Nothing.
I can't get the house transferred in my name.
No.
Okay.
Even on that
That's a
document,
will, ladies and gentlemen.
even the document says that upon your death,
Right.
in your will,
Right.
the car will go to Lynda Harris.
Absolutely.
They won't transfer that title to Lynda Harris. They'll say, where do you have a court order? Has it been through probate?
Okay.
Who have authorized us? Because you could have just made this. You and your cousin could have been an attorney.
Gotcha.
You know, your friend could have been an attorney, and you guys could have just put something together last minute.
This is very important. Very
So
important.
wills are often contested,
Okay.
especially family members. Let's just say you've been here with mama. You've lived in the house with mama.
Absolutely.
And you have 5 other siblings.
Absolutely.
And they're scattered throughout the country and some out of the country.
Mm-hmm.
And Big Mama, who has property, and in that will, she listed whoever she wants to get the property.
Right.
Now, since Lynda, you've lived with Big Mama,
Right.
and now all of us flying in for the funeral.
Right.
I mean, we're just, we're missing, we moaning, we saying, hey, and the person that really was least in their life is going to do the most crying when Big Mama passes.
One that was played the smallest role.
Right, never how they
Least,
call.
never they fall out.
They're
huh?
them the
Fall
ones
out
that are
at
gonna
the
fall in a casket. Them the ones that are gonna say, "Oh my God, Big Mama, I miss
You're
you."
right.
They're gonna
You're right.
do the most hollering and crying.
You're right.
And y'all gonna say, "Look at her, look at him," put Mama through hell.
Right.
But I'm telling you, they knew that Big Mama had a lot of real estate, had a lot of property, had a lot of asset. Now they may be mourning, they may be eating that church's chicken and them rich sodas. But let me tell you something. After that,
Yeah, Ritz.
you remember Rich? So they're gonna be looking at, okay, back in their mind, they might not say it. They're gonna be like, okay, where's the money,
When
honey?
are we getting to the real deal?
Where is the money? They're gonna start whispering, who
And
is
that's
the
so
money?
unfortunate, but it happens so much, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. I mean, it's a part of life, I mean, it really is. Who do we see? We see Marsh there. I see you, Marsh. Who's that? Alma. I see you there. Yeah, we have some people that's just jumping on Facebook. We see you there. Yes, they're going to start asking. This is real life.
It really is.
They want to know quickly about the money. Where is the money? We know Big Mama had some money, but all you have is a will.
Right.
When you have that will, no property can be transferred or conveyed with a will. Did you know that?
I knew that. Did you know that?
Did you all know
Did
that?
you all know that?
A will is just
You
a will.
cannot go and record the property. That's not the end all wear all.
So you would ask, well, why do attorneys recommend, or when you go to an attorney, know exactly what you're trying to do?
Right.
Why do they just drop a will? Why do they do that when they know that it's not the end all? They don't. A will doesn't have the final say.
Right.
A will is just a gathering of your documents. Because if you don't have the will, you have nothing to go on, and now you got to scatter, look under the mattress, find out, does he have an insurance policy?
Right.
Nothing is put together.
Right.
All a will really does is coordinate to make it easier for you to see exactly what Big Mama or Big Papa's wishes were, and they'll list the things that they have to leave to you or someone else.
So it's a small guide, but
Yeah.
it doesn't stop there.
Right. And for a long time, that's all we've heard of will. Now, another thing is when you have a will, let's say Big Mama or Big Papa had a mortgage on a property, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And she had money in her bank,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not on the bank account. Even if you are on the bank account, you still can't pay the mortgage because really, how are you going to get access to her money?
That's right.
You can't.
That's right.
Now, what you can do is have your name on Big Mama's bank accounts as a beneficial, like transfer of debt, a beneficiary.
TOD.
You want to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, when Big Mama, Big Papa is sick and you know that they're going to pass, I want you all to start thinking. I know you're going to miss Big Mama, Big Papa, your sister, your cousin, or whatever. I want you to start thinking that if you have some time and you know they're getting ready to pass, you got to start thinking about how their assets are going to be distributed. Because I'm going to tell you something. Attorneys, I don't know any attorney who, when they go to college, they might have had red blood. By the time they go and become an attorney, it's like they all have green blood.
Goodness.
and they just want money.
Right.
It's gonna fee is $5,000, this and that.
Well, they got those student loans to pay back.
Yes. You might, hey, you know me, can you help me out? Nah, I gotta charge you a fee. My time, I had to pass this test. And it's gonna cost you money.
It's gonna cost money.
It's not gonna be, can you help me out? I know you. No. So let's walk this through.
Okay.
When someone is sick and you thinking that they're gonna pass, whether they got cancer, whether they got COVID, if they have some property, if they have a bank account, you got to take action. I know you're going to be mourning, but you have to take action and start thinking, because if you don't, you're going to pay the price. I know it's an uncomfortable time.
Right.
That's why you want to do this before anything happens,
Right.
especially you single females that own all this property and y'all have business and y'all doing y'all thing, especially some brothers who also own property and you're not married. How are you going to transfer that property to whoever you want to be it transferred to if you're in heaven?
Right.
You can't come back through the pearly gates, can you?
Absolutely. And
How
you
gonna do
can't
that?
leave it to your 8-year-old.
No.
They can't legally take title to property or assets. So, you know, to my single sisters that out there doing it, you never did, you know, like that son of a gun, but you did have a beautiful child together. You don't want him to be the surviving spouse to have access to all of your assets with just because of lack of planning. So you really want to listen to what we're saying, and not only listen but take action, because this is real. We see it every single day.
And that's a will.
We really do.
You know, that's what a will. A lot of people think a will, because that's all we've heard,
Right.
you know?
Right.
But to me, a will is like a can of biscuits that haven't been cooked.
Okay.
It's just dough.
Okay.
I mean,
Wait a
you
minute.
know-
how do you equate a will to biscuits?
Because it's
I
not
gotta hear this.
Because it's not the final act. It looks good, you know.
Uh-huh,
You get a can of biscuits,
Uh-huh.
you crack them open. You can't just start eating them.
No.
That's a will. You have to put it in the oven,
I like
which is
that.
probate, and has to be cooked. Then after it goes through probate and court, and you pay all this lawyer fees and court fee, and probate takes time.
Yeah.
It could be 6 months or a year. And the attorney might say, hey, listen, when an attorney looks at Big Mama, Big Papa assets and say, oh, she owns this, he owns that. Oh, my God, he has this. He has that in the bank. Oh, my God, I'm going to charge you $30,000. I had one guy that called me from New York. This is a Jewish guy, had called me. His parents had died. And this guy had about $10 million, his father. And he left it. And his father had an attorney for years. An attorney never set up a trust, set up a will. Why? Because the attorney knew that upon their death, they got to come back to them. When you have a will, an attorney sets the will up, like I said, it's just a document that just says what the person hoped to happen. But who has the final say? It's the courts, the judge. And your loved ones didn't even know that judge. They're going to assign your case to some stranger, okay? Now, they have the final say, and you have to pay for that, and it takes time. It's not like tomorrow. And the will says that the property should go to you. You can't just take that to the mortgage company or record your name on the deeds. That still has to go through the courts, and the judge have to look at you. And if there's some sibling rivalry,
Right.
and you've been taking care of Big Mama, and you had a sorry sapsucker brother or cousin or sister or whatever,
Right.
and they claiming that, hey, they want part of the property,
They're gonna contest it.
they're going to contest it
And
because they're going to get an
drag
attorney.
it out, and that attorney fees at what, $350 an hour to $500 an hour.
Yeah, it just depends.
The clock is continuing to tick. You know what I've also seen, Robert? There are a lot of trolls out there that look at obituaries,
Yes.
and then they go make claims on people's estate, saying, you know, I was his neighbor. He promised me that riding lawnmower. He promised me, and they will literally tie up that estate.
Yes.
People, I mean, they do that for a living. So please listen to us about a will. If you have one, you may want to consider taking the next step.
Right. And now, so wills are contestable, so we know that.
All right.
And you're going to have siblings saying, hey, you know, you was there with Mama and you kind of coerced her and you bribed her and she was going through Alzheimer. And how in the world we got 5 siblings and here you are, Lynda, you get everything.
Right.
Something is
Something
suspicious
that's
about
right,
that,
right.
you know?
So they contest it.
And then we hate you now.
Families
'cause you-
broken apart.
Right. Okay. So that's what a will does. Again, why don't your attorney tell you that? Why? Because it's money. Attorneys get paid for drawing up the wills, and when death occurs, remember he or she have their name on that document.
Staple the card
They
everywhere.
staple the card on that. So when you find the will, then you got to come back to them, and it's more ka-ching. Man, it's about, that's why this show is called Understanding Money.
You gotta understand it. You gotta speak
It
the
really
language.
is.
Yeah.
Nothing personal, they say, it's just business.
Right.
Now, why do we like trust more than we like wills? Okay. A living trust, we call it a living trust, okay? And it's a revocable living trust. Revocable mean that whatever you put down on this document, you can change your mind. It's not etched in stone. It's revocable. You follow me? Now, an irrevocable living trust means that whatever you put down on the document, you can't change your mind. You actually gave it away.
Right.
So I like to look at, there's two types of trust. That's the revocable trust and the irrevocable trust. The revocable trust says you're Indian giver.
Gotcha.
I put you down. You're my daughter. You're going to inherit all of my wealth. Oh, my God.
You married this man I never liked. I changed my mind.
That's right. You married that pimp, and now I want to disown you, so I'm going to change the trust.
Yeah.
That's a revocable trust.
Revocable,
An
okay.
irrevocable trust says that I'm going to leave you all my wealth. You've been good to me. I put your name down, and it's now you married that same pimp. Now I can't take it back.
A good example of that is Anna Nicole Smith.
Okay.
That was an irrevocable trust when she married that 90-something-year-old billionaire, and that's why her family still tried to contest it, but they had to settle because it was irrevocable.
Right.
Yeah.
An irrevocable trust. Oh my God! But you got to be
came
careful about an irrevocable trust because things change. So I do like revocable trust, but there are advantages for both, and we can go into that later, especially if you call us. What's our telephone number again?
305-825-1444.
Okay.
You got to keep saying that.
That's right. We got to keep saying that. We got to get a crawl that has our telephone
yeah,
number on
that
there.
just
We'll get
kinda-
to it.
yeah,
We'll
we'll
just
get
start
that,
now.
yeah.
But let me tell you. So let's go back into this this trust.
Okay.
A trust. I want you to use your imagination. A trust basically is the same thing. What it does, it looks the same, but it's a document that lists all of your assets, where you want them to be distributed when you pass on and go to heaven.
Okay.
It's similar to, the instructions are similar to a will.
Okay.
The difference is whatever you put down on a trust, and when you pass, you don't have to go to court. You don't need an attorney. If your name is on there and Big Mama say, Lynda, you get my Cadillac. All you have to do is take that trust document to the motor vehicle place, and they will actually see your name. You will have to have a death certificate showing that Big Mama has passed, and you would have to have your ID. Your name is on line 6.
Right.
They will take that car and put it in your name. No question asked. You don't need an attorney.
So if my
You don't need probate.
my
You don't need a
sister
court.
came back and said, no. She left this Cadillac to me. She can't contest. There's no arguing. There's no, I'm going to fight you for it.
There's no court
Whatever is
proceeding.
written,
That's right.
so it shall be.
There's no court proceedings like Ghostbuster. I mean, a trust is etched in stone.
Okay.
There is nobody to call. You can get mad,
Right.
but if it's a living trust, man, it's
That's a wrap.
and if it's a revocable living trust, and Big Mama passes before she can change it because you married that pimp. Once she dies, it becomes an irrevocable trust. 'Cause
Nothing can be changed.
Nothing can be
The
changed.
only person that could have changed it
It's
is
Big Mama.
dead.
That's right.
So now it's an irrevocable. Whatever's written, so it shall be.
That's right.
Okay.
So you want to have a
That's
living
important.
trust. Now, a living trust also is good because inside the living trust, you usually have an attorney put what we call a living will.
Okay.
A living will is the medical part of the trust that's saying that, if I get sick and I'm in a hospital and they have me on support, don't let them keep me there for 6 years and have hospital bills.
So they'll have
Pull
a
the
do
plug.
not resuscitate.
Right.
And, okay.
It gives instructions. So if let's say you have 5 or 3 siblings or something, okay?
Right.
And they say, one of them say, hey, don't take Big Mama off life support, and you'll say, hey, Big Mother had a living will. Living will is different from just a will.
Gotcha.
So you have the will is used to give instructions on how you want your property transferred and conveyed, okay? Now, that's a will.
Right.
A living will, as soon as you say living will, then that's the medical part.
Gotcha.
Living will is always the medical. I want to donate my organs.
Right.
You know, if you're Jehovah's Witness, you're saying, okay, I don't want any sort of blood transfusions.
Gotcha.
You follow me?
Gotcha.
And then, yeah, so that's the living will inside of a trust.
Inside the trust.
I like a trust because a trust is private.
Mm.
Wills are not private. Soon as you do a will and record it in the public in documents downtown, anybody can pull it up.
Public, yeah.
It's public information.
And once they pull it up, they can potentially contest it.
Right.
Yeah.
But a trust isn't. So I absolutely love what
Absolutely.
a trust can do. Now, most people think about older people when we're talking about setting up estate planning and trust and wills.
Right.
But Lynda, let's say you're single right now.
Right now.
Right
but
now.
I will get married
I know
again.
you will get married,
Okay.
but right now you're
Keep that
single.
straight. Yes, sir.
And you have several properties.
Yes.
Now, if I wasn't your brother-in-law, and if I wasn't on you and your sister Natalie telling you that you got to set up the living trust, and let's just say you didn't, and you passed away, all of a sudden, COVID or whatever, knock on wood, not COVID, but wherever you died in your sleep, I don't know.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good way to go, right?
Right.
Your real estate, all the real estate you have, we would, if you didn't have a trust, even if you had a will, we'd have to get an attorney. Okay, because the mortgage companies will not talk to us if you have any.
Take it all through probate.
They have to go through probate. And when they look at your assets, Lynda, all the real estate wealth that you have, oh my God, you think an attorney gonna charge you $3,000? No.
All the attorneys we know, friends.
No. But they're gonna tell you, Lynda, you have this, you have that. You know, you have this many apartment buildings, you have this land, you have this many development.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So
Live. This
So-
is live TV. Yeah.
the attorneys will charge a lot of money, and it's not going to take 3 months. It may take a year or more than a year,
Wow.
and that's the problem. So that's why we say, Lynda, you got to have a living trust.
Absolutely.
You got to name me as the trustee or the beneficiary.
Absolutely.
Because who else in your family going to take care
I
of it
can't
like
think
I
of
would?
one person.
You sure can. They will squander that money and fight. I don't know,
Yeah.
So that's why you really want to set up a trust. A trust is fantastic. It doesn't cost a lot of money. When you think about a living trust, you think about, oh man, you got to be very
know,
rich.
right.
You can get a living trust done from $500, $1,000. It depends.
Or you think you don't have enough assets for a trust.
Let's talk about that.
Let's do.
Let's
You'd
just
be
say,
surprised.
let's say you work for the county or the
Okay.
city or whatever, and you have a 9-to-5 job, but you also have one duplex.
Okay.
One
That
duplex.
sounds familiar.
That duplex is in your personal name. Or even if the duplex is in an LLC,
Okay.
all of a sudden you go to heaven.
Okay.
Probate, yes, has to go through, you have to get in a lawyer, has to go through court,
That one duplex.
that one duplex. Because how,
Okay.
I mean, who says the duplex belongs to me or you?
Right.
Because the person that died, they didn't leave any instructions. And even if they had a will that says, I want this duplex to go to my brother.
Right.
It still doesn't go to your brother. Remember, the courts, the judge has the final say. What if you have two brothers? What if you have a lover, a girlfriend, that said, listen, he promised that duplex to me. How is he going to give it to his brother just because he's his brother? And she can contest it.
When Kobe Bryant died, he didn't have time to put his youngest daughter on his trust.
Yes.
And that was almost a newborn.
That's a problem.
So to your point, things change. Things change in our lives. We get divorced, we get remarried, we have children, we find out we have children that we didn't know about. So you really want to keep that updated, and you want to be specific.
Yes, and it doesn't cost a lot of money, I tell you.
Yeah.
It used to be when we first started. I mean, just like flat screen TVs at one time. I remember when they first came out. There was $10,000 for a flat screen TV. Now you can go to Walmart and get a flat screen TV for $100.
Yeah, Costco got them all day. Yeah.
It's the same thing about having a living trust.
Okay.
A living trust used to cost $10,000 or more, and it was only for the rich and famous. But no, everything has come down. No, you can get a trust done, like I say, for $500, $1,000. Anytime you get a living trust done, and people are charging you $3,000 and $5,000, you're paying too much.
Right. So
I'm telling
don't
you.
think you don't have enough assets. Again, I got to keep going back to my single sisters, because we really are doing it.
What
out
about your
there.
single brothers, Lynda?
My single brothers as well, but I want to focus on my single sisters. We have a lot of assets. We probably have 2.5 cars. We have this beautiful child. We want to make sure that it's going to our child when they get of age.
Yes.
So we want to name a trustee, and we may not want it to be his or her father, a living trust is the way to go, ladies. You absolutely have to. You'd be surprised how much money you have. A lot of us are worth more dead than alive.
Yeah. Oh,
Now,
man.
oh.
Especially if you have insurance.
Oh, especially if you have insurance. So as far as leaving that child as a beneficiary, that child is a minor. Now, who's going to make sure that child really gets it? Who's going to be the trustee? Who's going to be the guardian? If you have that same child's father that you never did like, or you start not liking, he's going to say, oh, little Junior needed a Rolex. No, that was for him. And so you want to make sure you protect everything you've worked so hard for. And a living trust really is the way.
And a lot
to
of people,
go.
young people that have real estate, they overlook that because they think that
Young people
wills
are
and
doing
trusts
it.
are just for older people or people about to die.
Right.
What I like about a living trust is that you can always change. In other words, you can it's something called an addendum. I mean, you can, right now in 2020, you can say, okay, if something happens to me, I want this property to go to so-and-so. And in living trust, even if you sell the property, no big deal.
Right.
You can sell property, you can put property in. Now, I'm gonna tell you, a lot of people want to do it themselves, and they go to, the stationery store and say, I can do my own living trust. Over half of the living trusts that I put together are invalid. Let me tell you why. When you create a living trust, an attorney, even attorneys, a lot of attorneys will draw up a living trust for you, but they'll never put the property and change the name from your name to the name of the trust. So like Lynda, your property should be in the name of Lynda V. Harris Family Living Trust. Now, how do you know that it really is in the name of the trust? Each year when you get that tax document that says you have to pay your taxes, if it comes in Lynda V. Harris, then it's not in the trust.
It should come in. You got to record it.
Yes.
To the trust. So we got a couple of questions. Mario just asked, for his living trust, he can't find anyone to do it for less than $2,000.
Oh my God.
Isn't that something?
That's amazing.
305-825-1444. And Al said their maintenance costs for a living trust, if you want to change it, and if so, how much and how often can you change a living trust?
Well, when you do a living trust, there will be attorneys going to charge you a small fee. But, I mean, you don't want to have something that you're changing every month.
Right.
Okay?
You can't get somebody get you mad and you change it and then you
put it
make
back,
up with them.
take it out,
Yeah.
put it- no.
That's not what it's for.
But they may charge you $100 an hour or whatever to actually change. It's called an addendum.
Right.
And they'll attach that to the trust. But you have to be able to take the property out of your name and you put it in the trust. A lot of smart, savvy people, they use living trusts, and they actually so clever.
Okay.
They go and they get welfare. They get help. They have millions of dollars.
So it's not in my name.
They take it out. They take it out of their name legally, and they put it in the name of the trust.
Boy, it's
Having a
always
trust is
somebody.
like creating a whole alter ego, like another
Different
person, an alias.
Gotcha.
And it's like,
Gotcha.
hey, Robert Henderson, I don't own nothing. I can swear on a stack of Bibles in the
Right.
court of law, I don't own nothing.
Gotcha.
And I don't have nothing. Look me, I don't have nothing. I
It's
don't
in
own
the trust.
nothing.
Yeah, technically.
But my trust owns it.
So
And who
you-
controls the trust? I do.
So you own nothing but
Technically.
control everything.
Oh, that's a saying we like to say.
Absolutely.
Own nothing and control everything.
Absolutely.
It don't really have to be in your name. A lot of the drug dealers back in the day, if they would have known that instead of putting property in the girlfriend and sister name and all that, if they would have created a trust, oh man.
And we're not promoting.
Oh, we're not
anything
promoting that, but I'm
illegal.
just saying, it's a lot of creativity stuff here. This financial stuff, man, it is amazing. It's good, I'm telling you.
Right.
Once you get past all the terminology and the jargon, a lot of the stuff means the same thing as but the names change, so you don't understand it,
And I believe that's what we're really good at, especially yourself, Robert. You have this saying, break it down as if we were 6-year-olds. Let's say this, if you don't understand when you leave that meeting with your financial advisor, that's not the right financial advisor.
Exactly.
A lot of this stuff is not that complicated. It's how you relay the information, and I believe we're the best at it. We
Yeah, we
really
are.
are.
We
I
really
mean, I'm
are.
not bragging, but I believe we're the best at it because we love doing this. Not many of us are in this field, especially with your certification, certified financial planner. And so it's our job to make sure we each one reach one, teach one, and explain it to you where you can understand and continue to build generational wealth. Everything that's happening right now in the world, we say is lack of money.
Yes.
And so we
Money
gotta
changes things.
we got to keep creating generational wealth, and we got to protect our wealth, and we don't want it to be eaten up by probate charges and costs. 305
Yes.
825 1444.
You know, a lot of people say, Robert, what should go into my trust? So let's walk that through.
Okay, let's do it.
If you're married, if you husband and wife, like I'm married to your sister,
Right, and I will be getting married.
okay,
Okay.
then when I go to heaven, I want everything going to my wife.
Okay.
All right. Now I have life insurance policies
Okay.
that I have the children's names on it.
Okay.
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 Now a life insurance policy is a trust, like a trust itself. You really don't have to put a life insurance policy inside a trust because life insurance companies basically is a trust itself. If you're a beneficiary in a life insurance policy, it's etched in stone.
Not contestable.
That's not contestable.
Done. Okay.
Okay, and that's law. That's throughout the whole land. All right. So now, if under your retirement accounts, your IRAs, you also should have a beneficiary.
Not contestable.
Not contestable. The problem is these bank accounts. A lot of people have bank accounts and they're private and they don't want anyone on it. So if you don't want someone on your bank account because you want to, prevent fraud or you want to just have privacy, at least have somebody down there as a transfer on death. It's a form that you can get from your bank.
Right.
You can say, listen, if something happened to me, I want the beneficiary to be such and such and such. I don't want them to have control where they can come in and take my money.
Right.
But I do want them, if something happens to me, I want to have a TOD on file.
Right.
They come in with their driver's license, they come in with a death certificate, and they're the beneficiary of this money. Then they don't need a court order then.
Upon my death.
Upon my death
Transfer on death. They can't come in while you're alive and
Right.
take your money.
Right.
So that's important.
Okay, so bank accounts, like CDs or anything like that,
Right.
then you need to, because a lot of times when you have a CD, they don't put a transfer. They don't actually tell you this is what you need. They just do it. It's like when you go see an attorney. Attorney should tell you, well, you got a will, but you really should have a living trust. You know?
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
some people say, well, Robert, I can't afford, $1,000 for the living trust, but I'm on fixed income, but I want to get this done. If you're Big Mama and you have a favorite child, okay, you can always just add your favorite child, especially if the property is paid off. You can add your child
To the property.
to the property.
Now, what if that child get in an accident and somebody suing looks for the assets of their child? Because they always troublemakers.
Well, you can't just put it on any child.
Okay.
You got to make sure
We
that's
want you to, yeah.
because parents
A
know their children.
responsible child. Yes.
I mean, I have 5 children, and they're 5 different people. They all came from me.
Right.
I fed them. They all went to
Wait
private
a
school.
minute. Now, you're not saying some you will put as a joint owner of something and others you will not. You know your children.
All of us know our children. I mean, all of us. I mean, the worst thing that can happen, and I see it all the time, Big Mama have 12 kids.
Right.
On her house, she wants to leave the house to all 12 kids. Now, half of them not doing anything. We know that.
Right.
We know the sorry sucker, ain't doing
Right.
nothing.
Right.
And then who Big Mama think is going to always pay the homeowner's insurance? Who's going to
Property
pay the property taxes? It's Sally. She's going to pay it. And Sally feels some kind of way because they all won't let her sell it. They all want money. It could be a problem. So, if Big Mama or Big Papa have some property, if you have 10 kids,
Right.
come on. If one of them living there, then y'all got to get together beforehand and say how you're going to distribute this asset. If you're going to sell the property, everybody going to be broken off and getting, evenly. Or if you are going to let that one person buy y'all out and give you something,
Because I'm telling you, it'll save relationships because once Big Mama's gone, you still want to love each other and get along. And boy, a lot of ugly things happen after funerals.
Yes.
Yeah. Usually
Yes.
it's a run on the house and where the jewelry is. And you don't want that because you really only have each other after that. So you really want to make sure you lay out who gets what because you got to maintain those relationships. You need each other now more than ever.
Yes.
So you really want to make sure that you're prepared. And I don't
Yes.
care how young you are either.
Yes. Mario says on Facebook, he says the transfer on death is super easy. It really is.
Okay.
It's just a form.
It's free.
It's free.
Mhm.
You wanna have someone. They don't have to have privileges where they can go into your account
Right.
and have access to your money. But in case something happens to you, then you definitely want. And people think about a power of attorney.
Right.
Power of attorneys are only good as long as you're alive. if you have a power of attorney over someone, as soon as that person dies, that power of attorney dies. Then you have to go through probate.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I want you to think about this living trust. If you have property, especially a lot of young people who are now, real estate, y'all flipping property, you're doing, you need to think about that because no one knows the time and the hour when that time is going to come and you're going to pass.
Absolutely. You know who was a good example of trust done, I guess you can say right, even though it turned out tragic, was Whitney Houston.
Okay.
She dictated from the grave. She knew her young child, Bobby Christina, wasn't mature enough to savvy enough to get that lump sum, so she spread it out at 19 and then at 25, but tragically she died before 25.
Wow.
The Bobby Christina, the baby.
Who knew?
So you can dictate what we call dictate from the grave with a trust.
Yes.
You can put your wishes in the trust. You can say, until you get a bachelor's degree, you will not get that next stipend.
Right.
You can say until you marry XYZ, you don't want to go that far. I am being extreme.
But you can't do it.
But you really can do it.
A lot of wealthy people do that.
Absolutely.
They'll say, hey,
my first grandson.
Right.
So you really can dictate from the grave with the trust. Again, you don't want to get too restrictive, but you can do it.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And so you'd wonder, why aren't a lot of attorneys advocating for the trust? First of all, it's work. Second of all, it's really simple for them to do a living will and charge you $300, $500, and you don't know the difference. So then they're not really advising you. They'll tell you need to go get an advisor. They're just actually going to do the work for you. You come in and say you want a will, and they say, okay. They don't really have a lot of time. They're not going to spend a lot of time with you, consulting you, about estate matters, unless you ask them.
Right.
I found in this world, you got to ask, you got to seek, and you got to knock. If you have any sort of intuitive feeling that there's something better out there, I'm telling you, it is something better. It's always something better out there. You should always be trying to achieve good, better, best. Never let them rest.
Oh, here we go.
Until your good become your better and your better become your best. Lynda, every time I said, that was my third grade. I had to take the stage at third grade, Rainbow Park, elementary.
He went up so proudly, stuck his chest out, right, and get his speech.
I was in the auditorium, and my part was good, better, best. Never let them rest until your good become your better and your better become your best. I practice that. Whatever I know now,
Robert,
I feel I don't know nothing. It's always something better, more to learn. And I love it like that, because if I get to a point where I think I know everything,
right.
I feel sorry. I'm dead.
You know what blows my mind, and I shouldn't be surprised, Prince died without a trust.
Yes.
Aretha Franklin died without a trust.
Yes.
You come in our office and we have posters of estates gone bad.
Yes.
Joe Robbie's and FloJo and you would think that these people who have the best financial minds around them
and advisors,
and advisors around them would know to get it in order and protect it from taxes and Uncle Sam. But even they didn't help. We often say, how can she not have a trust?
Right.
How did they not have their financial affairs in order? So it's easy to do, but it's easy to fix as well.
Right.
It really is. 305-825-1444.
Because, Lynda, death and thinking about death, I think most people don't want to think about death, or most people don't believe they're going to die. They'll say it, but they really don't believe it. That's one thing that you hate to talk about. I know death.
I do.
But you need to prepare for it,
Yeah.
I mean, you really do, because you never know the time and the hour. But it happens. We see it happening all around us. And a lot of athletes don't have a living trust.
Oh, my goodness.
They probably have a will,
Right.
but the person that told you to just set up a will, they know that that's like a can of raw biscuits that you need to take another step. A will is not all in. It's not. You don't have the final say. Not even you when you draw up a will.
Right.
On a judge, a court has the final will. But if you want to take that power away from a complete stranger and distribute your assets the way they think it ought to be gone, then you need to have a living trust. And if you don't know an attorney, we can help you. Just give us a call at our office, 305-825-1444. We'll direct you. We'll actually email you and send you a form where you can start listing your assets.
Save those billable hours. You can have all the information up front.
That's right. That's why we have people call us. What we will do, we'll give you a form where you can list out all of your assets, your bank account. You don't have to say how much in the bank account, but just to give you a guide so you know how to put it together. By the time you do contact this lawyer, they don't have to charge you hourly. You trying to figure out what's the name of the trust and spending time. Some of them charge $300 an hour, $500 an hour.
It takes 2 hours to go over that form we're going to give you up front.
Right.
So give us a call.
By the time you get to the attorney, you're like, here it is, ink it.
And then go, right, exactly.
Right. You know, that's what you want to do. So I hope you guys learned something today about living trust. And if you don't have any assets, you're just starting out.
June said good, better, best.
Never let them rest until your good become your better and your better become your best. I love that. But you know, I really, truly, truly want you all to pass this on because we need to help each other.
We really
Robert. Do. You know, I know we have some people out there that think they know it all. Some people just go on the internet and they believe everything that's on the internet. You know, I mean, if you Google Mother Teresa, they're probably gonna say she's the Antichrist. You know, I mean, you can find anything that you're looking for. You could find
it
to justify
Everybody
your actions,
has an opinion.
right?
Yep.
To justify your action. If you want to be a racist, you can definitely find all kind of supporting information on the internet by why you should be a racist.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it is. So you need to call us to get good information, unbiased information, and we can talk to you about it. You can arrange for a Zoom or go to meeting,
Right.
because our job is to help you. We get our blessings anytime we help you. Before we enrich ourselves, we have to enrich you. We get our blessings every time we help another soul and educate them. It has never failed us. So you might say, why are we doing this? Because we really get our blessings for helping you. And we want to help as many people. And there's a lot of people out here that need help. They don't know anyone to go to. And oftentimes when they talk to someone, they just selling them something.
Pushing a product, and we're independent, so we don't have to meet a quota. We don't have to push a product. We really are living examples of if you give and help, you'll be blessed. Because we really are pretty blessed.
Yes.
We really are. So we really don't have to, we don't, billable hours. We don't have to sell X amount of annuities. We absolutely love what we do. We love a good challenge. We've got our battle scars. We're not saying everything's perfect. Well, you've been in this business over 35 years.
Yeah, over 35 years. Yeah.
And myself almost 30. Yeah. I mean, I started at 12. But we've got our battle scars, so we know what to do. But more importantly, Robert, we know what not to do.
Yes.
We know what doesn't work.
Yes.
And we want to share it with you. We're not going to just paint this rosy picture of, oh, I'm this and everything I do turns to gold and everything is great. Some things don't. But we can share our experiences with you.
That's true.
What didn't work.
Oh, man, I see Saudia S. Ali. Oh, my God. I hadn't talked that. That's Saudia S. Ali, you know. How you doing, Saudia?
Good morning.
I see, you know, I knew her since she was a little girl. I see she's tuned in. I mean, we went skiing. I took her skiing.
Oh, my goodness.
Snow skiing, right?
Good deal.
Oh, my God. That's fantastic.
You know, you just said something. We've have generations as clients.
Yes.
We have the son who grew up and got married and has a child, and now the parent bring the grandchild in.
Yes.
And then the parents say, I want to make sure my trust is right, and I trust you because you helped me build this wealth. We actually have children of children of children, and it's beautiful.
Yes.
It really is beautiful.
The other day, we had someone that dropped by the office, and he said that I helped him when he was 21 years old.
How old is he now?
He's 41.
Wow.
That's the last time that he said that I gave him some advice.
Wow.
And as a matter of fact, he said he opened up a stock account, him and a friend of his, and they made money at 21 years old. And they made money.
So that made you feel good.
Oh, man, 20 years ago?
I love it.
It felt really, really good. We have a lot of clients that been around, man. Like I said, we've been doing this over 30 years. We really love what we do. You know, this is not just our mission. This is what we love to do.
You know? I've been working with you for over 30 years, I think.
Well, I've been knowing you since I was about 10.
Yeah.
So that means you was okay. I don't want to tell
no,
you.
No, don't do it. But it's just been a journey, and I'm reminiscing because a lot of things have changed. And to your point, you give us all good advice from the family to friends to everybody that's out there. So we want to share. We really do. We're not stuck up. It's important when you leave our consultation that you don't say, what did he just say? Or what did she just say? We want you to understand, because then you can go out and relay it to others.
Yes.
So we really do break it down as if you were 6-year-olds.
Yes.
And we care about you and your family and your generational wealth. So, as James T said, keep giving out the phone number.
Yes.
305-825-1444.
So we just learned about,
Mm-hmm.
we gave you information on what's a will
Right.
and what's a trust and
Right.
what's the difference,
Right.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
We know that a will is just a document. That's all it is, a gathering of information
Mm-hmm.
that just lists your assets and who you want them to be distributed. But we do know that a will does not have a lot of power. It's just, like I said, it doesn't have no power. It doesn't mean just because you put my name or your name or someone's name down on a will that that is in fact going to happen. No, a judge has the final say on what happens on all wills.
That's that raw biscuits.
That's the raw biscuit,
Okay.
okay?
Not baked.
Raw dough.
Raw dough. That's I like
So
that.
you know that a will is just a gathering information. It's better than having nothing, I have to say.
Okay.
Because if you don't have nothing and you
Oof,
die,
what a
then
mess.
the family has to go through the house, look in the mailbox, open the mail, and when they try to call these organizations that have your money,
Right.
the organization is going to say, "Who are you?
Right.
We're not allowed to speak to you.
Right.
You're not on the account." You can say,
Right.
"That's my brother, cousin, they died." Well, they cannot talk to you because of the HIPAA laws, because there's so much fraud that's taking place. So you will get nowhere in that situation, even though your name will be on a will. So a will doesn't have a whole lot of clout. I just want to let you all know that, okay? And I really want you to tell your friends that and tell Big Mama. And I know it's hard to talk about estate planning and death and dying, but even if you are young, if you're in your 20s and you're buying real estate, if you are a single parent and you're working, you work for the state or the county or whatever, and you know, smart enough, you save your money, and now you own your first home.
Right.
The home is just in your name. You get in a car accident, probate, because now we don't know, they don't know who is supposed to get the house. You follow me?
Right.
That could be a big problem. And oftentimes it is a problem. So I want you to think that through. And if you need to get counseling, if you need to talk about your whole financial situation, I want you to give us a call. The Henderson Financial Group. I want you to go to our website, www.thehendersonfinancialgroup, and read about us, look us up. You can always set up a Zoom or go-to meeting, and we're happy to give you free consultation.
You know, sometimes, Robert, the accident don't kill you, but you're incapacitated.
Yes.
That might be a different show.
Yes, but that's part of a living
That's
trust
part of
also.
a living trust also.
Yes.
So that's why it's important, because sometimes you survive the accident. We absolutely hope you learn something. More importantly, we hope you take action.
Yes.
Because very often, Robin, you know the people that come in and they just say great information and then they don't apply it.
Yes.
So I want to challenge you, you know, that show, The First 48,
Yes.
that says if a crime isn't solved in the first 48 hours, the likelihood of it being solved. I'm going to challenge you in the next 48 hours. I think we got a holiday coming up. Do something. Because if you don't do it in the first 48, the likelihood you won't do it.
Yes.
So I'm going to challenge you to do something. Get that TOD. Call us for a trust. Write down your assets. Call us for the form so you can fill it out and make an appointment. We'll do a Zoom appointment. I'm going to challenge you to do that in the first 48 hours.
That's good. All right. And give us a call. Hey, same time, same station, so to speak, next week. Now, I want you all to stay tuned at 9:15. My daughter Hyacinth, who's been working with us for over 17 years. She's a stockbroker, also a registered investment advisor, insurance advisor. I'm so proud of her. She's coming up around 9:15. She's going to have some more encouraging, enlightening information to pass on to you all. Okay? So keep it locked.
Right on, right on.
Right
Happy
on.
4th of July.
Power to the people.
Power to the people.